Hello everyone and welcome back to Going Medieval. We're starting on a little bit earlier screen, as you can see, based on that loading bar down here and the new live summary of the events that have recently happened. We're in the newest update. So I'm very excited to see how this all pans out for our settlers, because there is a ton more stuff around here. Let's first have a look at what we can see, because I think there should be new trees, new bushes as well, although I don't quite know if they would load in immediately. Trees kind of all look the same still. Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll need the saplings for the trees, and I'm hoping the bushes will just come at some point, or like spawn in at some point during the playthrough. There are a couple more changes. The order down here has changed. There should be a lot more. Alright, the research tree has completely changed, and that will take some getting used to. Wow. Alright. Would be nice to be able to zoom out a little bit for this. But then again, it is a completely new new update, and they're still hashing out the details. That's the beautiful things of being on the experimental branch. So let's see, defensive structures. I do know there are defensive structures, strategic structures, rally point, okay. A large bell. Interesting, and a war table, because there are also new roles in there, which actually are quite interesting. Sergeant's podium. So you can now have a training room, and one of your settlers can sort of take on the role as a teacher, which is quite interesting. And we do have a large drawbridge. Now, in Clayford, we're nowhere close to building this, but I'm very excited for Hawkshaw to see how all of this pans out. Once we get to that point, at least. Also, new merchant structures. Oh, the market cross. That'd be fun to have a little marketplace. Scales. So again, like a new role that comes with it. Throwing axes. Yeah, we'll kind of need to see as we go through. Wait, what is that? Skittles. Right, because they do have now new games available for our settlers. And I do wonder, so Skittles is here. There we go. Then we have a shovelboard. And the last one is the... Really? The backgammon table is the last one? Wait, does that mean you have 0 entertainment build? No, you have Voids. I'm hoping that's how you pronounce it. Interesting. It's like a ring toss kind of thing, I think. That was not intended. There we go. Oh look, we actually do still have the backgammon table. Now I kind of want to remove this, as we shouldn't have it already. So let's go ahead and try to play the game as they kind of intended. And then we place quoits. Really need to look at how to pronounce this. We place it over here in the corner. Okay. So, like I said, the rest we'll figure out as we're just going through. So we do have a little bit of barley here. There's more barley out there that we can actually harvest, and then look at that, it's animated as well. That we can harvest and then use it to plant this stuff in here. All of that. You can even select the time period now, when they're actually planting these. Now that's pretty cool. And I think at the moment it's set that in winter it's not being planted anymore. Nice. I like that. I like that. All right. We're otherwise still kind of digging down to make the whole, how should I put it? Root cellar system for us. And with the new update, they also have a flooding mechanic and a mice infestation mechanic, which will be quite interesting. Because I also think that might mean we need to create walls around all of this. Now we should be able actually to remove the walls underneath here and replace them with wooden walls right away. Okay, yeah. So with the flooding mechanics, I mean, we had talked about this in the comments last time. Initially, I was thinking of putting the root cellar underneath the river, but I think we're just gonna branch out from here into this direction and make it relatively big, I want to say, allowing us to store all of our food there. Maybe we keep this here for the fermentation area where we keep the fermenting fruit juice and stuff like this going. Anyways, enough talking. I need to just resume our settlers. You do also see their new icons popping up on top of things. So that's quite interesting. Did you, let's actually have a quick look at you. Skills. Intellectual, you had a 2-star, but only a 1-star thing popped up. Well, might be overall okay. We're doing all right. In terms of food, it's not great, which makes me think, actually, we do have a ton of wood, and our dog is trained, right? And it is hopefully set, nope, not here, no, actually here, domestic, he is set to haul. We also have a cat for vermin control. That will be super useful once the rats or mouse plagues are coming in. Well, so much more stuff to do. One thing that we hadn't said is, well, first of all, the material, all of these are, I think, properly done. Yep, you store all of the textiles, all of you. But we do need to make sure we have at least as many pieces of clothing as we have settlers, because there should now be also the option to have them auto change things. Limit which settler can work on this. That's also a new thing. Crazy. All right. Let's see. We want to take everything down that's flimsy to sturdy, and then let's say under 25%. Still not entirely sure if these work together or if it's either or, like which logic the underlying coding actually has in there. But yeah, that's for the future for us to figure out. You are storing the animals. Let's actually have also a quick look while we're at it. Anything we can pick up? Nope. Excellent. We do have now, from the last time, our wooden well in here, and that seems to be working. So that's pretty good. So, still making our way. I'm not entirely sure why our dog is not doing anything. Oh, no, he is. We still need to make our way into creating armor, because well, we just need to defend ourselves whenever the enemies are actually coming in. We also, the doors are cute, but currently they don't serve any purpose. So we do need to go ahead and add a little bit more of a limestone wall around here, so that it actually, well, like I said, does actually have a purpose. I also need to make sure there's another door in here so we can utilize this area at some point. Not anytime soon, but at some point. Let's rotate you around. There we go. Kind of like the new animations, but were they quite necessary? I don't quite think so, but still. Okay, we should also then dig up a little bit more of the limestone. Let's just do 4 of them. That should be enough to get the last few walls in here. And then we're at least somewhat, I shouldn't say defended, but our archers can then just hang out up here. Okay. Are you harvesting or cutting them down? Why did the bush explode? Huh. Alright. They are still working their way through here, which is good. There is another wooden beam that we can actually place now. So let's... No. No. Because we now have animal problems, or potential animal problems, what we should do is actually go ahead and remove all of these. I'm a bit worried about the entire room collapsing, probably for good reasons. So let's go ahead and make sure we're building 1 pillar in the middle that hopefully will support, or temporarily support, this entire room. I'm gonna do the same underneath. There we go. And then we can also dig out the walls here. All right. Also think it might be worthwhile to put the fermentation station somewhere here. I guess there's no particular rush on that. Let's have a look, making sure who is our cook again. Not schedule jobs. Cooking. Android. You're doing a lot, mate. But, you know, that's fair. Spare room is done. Why wouldn't it have been done? I guess because I put the pillars in. Interesting. Okay. We do have a ton of vinegar. Why do we have so much vinegar? I'm actually doing okay for right now. Okay. Oh, I actually put in a limestone wall here. Alright, let's remove you. I'd rather have the limestone available for, of course, you're digging out the one thing that actually holds the wooden beam in place. Why wouldn't you, I guess? Anyways. Okay. So we're slowly making progress on that. Let's also have a look into research again. Fermenting was done. Beekeeping would be nice. Preserving food we've unlocked already. Where would the armor be? So this is rock making. Armor is... But I think we also need a smelter if we want to do this properly. So if we want to have a smelter, that would be up here. Wooden weaponry, interesting. Okay, so I think the next thing we're going to unlock is the smelter. Do we have even anything to melt down? We do not. Good times. Ooh. Well, hold on. Ferocious swarm. With razor-sharp tusks and a whiff of the underworld wild boar. Oh, look, they're actually lighting up red. What is... Oh, I clicked it away. What is their objective, though? Maybe nothing. Alright. That does make me think we should probably have a little bit of a trap system going. So much to do. Especially with the new update. I don't quite know what to prioritize yet, so it'll be quite interesting to play. Right. We do want to make sure we're replacing these with wooden walls as soon as we can. There we go. Last corner piece. Okay. Build up your defensive. Research is available. Well, 16 research, so that'll take a while longer. You're building this from underneath, I guess. Why not? Right. So we do have a little bit of iron like laying around here. So we should actually allow these to be transported back into our settlement. And at the same time, let's also have a look. Is there any other iron scattered around? Actually, I could just go into the menu. Sometimes it's nice to just browse through the area. I think so, at least. All right. However, I think that was it. Yep. Good times. But this can kind of become a mine for us. Excuse me. All right. I'm glad the soil stuff seems to be moving forward pretty well. We have 18 research. We do need 30 for the smelter. And then we actually need a space to put the smelter in. So let's actually have a look. We could put the smelter back here. Now you do not care if you're in the rain or not, which I find a bit surprising, but you know, no judgment. Let's go ahead and put in a little rooftop over here anyways. So if we're going to set a wooden wall here, I can't because the wooden fence, I guess, is in the way. All right, let's destroy you, which will free up our animals, which is not great, but it will kind of do. Marion, please go ahead and construct this right away. Of course, they run out straight away. All right, let's rope you back into place. The cow's checking out our bedrooms. Fair enough. All right, put you back in as well, though. Right, so this piece of wooden wall is in. Gonna add another one right there. And then we're just going to make sure we have going on. Really? How far is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait. Right. Put a support one in the middle. Not a big deal. And then we can add the wooden support beams in here and continue our rooftop, bigger rooftop, all the way to here. Okay. Now let's have a look how far they gotten down here. Actually, not too bad. Fill up everything with walls. Do need to check out this dog. Seems like a lot is going on. And I seem to be struggling where to find stuff. Oh, was he domesticated already? He or she? He? Yes. Unda. I don't have the list of dog names available right now, but I will rename her with one of your suggestions in the next episode. So, more research is available. So, in terms of UI, you can kind of see what's available to research, but I feel like it's not sticking out enough. I wonder if like a light shadow would actually make a ton of sense. Yeah. Still trying to wrap my head around all of this. But you guys let me know what you think, if you like the stuff or not. Alright. In the meantime, we focus again on putting in the walls. Especially since this is where I didn't want you to be placed here. Or here. Okay, pause. Rooftops off. It helps a little, I guess. Right, and we want to put a corner piece in here. Good. So this room is almost done. We do need to make sure we're putting the wooden beams back in right where they belong. So one here and I think one here. Yep. Why are you lacking? Wait, what happened to our butcher station? I don't see it here. I haven't seen it down there. Okay. So because of what I just did, we lost our butcher station. Meaning, let's place it back in. Butchering table. Hello? There we go. I guess I had placed you in that corner here. Let's place you over here. Yeah, because I think in the long run, having the... actually, look at that. The way these are structured, they're actually placed one to the side of the wooden beams underneath. Ooh, how annoying. Alright, I'm hoping this will just pan out. Anyways. So, long term, I think we're trying to put our cooking station in the center of the room, which means the cooking station on the side will actually be alright. So, Marion, you are doing some construction, but I want you to make that butcher station first. Not that we currently have necessarily any meat laying around that we could like grab, but it will come, and it will come soon. Let's actually have a quick look. Your marksman is 10, your marksman is 12. So maybe we'll send one of you guys hunting soon. For now, you're back in. Set you to forever. And then our food supply chain is kind of at least back in place. Doing okay still in terms of food supply. So that's not too bad. And our farm is also seemingly doing okay. However, winter is coming. Something like Game of Thrones in this game. But yeah, that's just what it is. So we will need to find out a better way of, well, getting food supply for us. Okay, we have a little bit of smoked meat, not too much though. You have kind of expanded underneath as well. And I think now it'd also be time to sort out. What? Why wouldn't I have done it? Alright. There we go. Let's mark these as well. Because you are building currently that wooden beam. Very nice. So that's looking overall pretty good. And I'm really hoping you're doing the last two of them. Okay. So one of our rooms at least is kind of safe from the rat infestation. Not quite yet. Because apparently it all it takes is one soil block. That's all it takes. And then rats can just randomly spawn. Oh, yeah. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. Has anyone actually done anything here? No? Oh, you should actually be set to forever. We might actually not have enough material overall. Yeah, we'll see, we'll see. Alright. We have more rough wine coming our way, which is nice. Especially because they are currently not decomposing. They are actually fermenting. So let's have a look. 25. Let's have you guys not touch this one. 23. Let's not touch this one. Try to get our... Well, we have a ton of rough wine. But try to get our aged fine wine kind of on the go. 12 days, that's good. 14 days, that's also good. 14 days. All right. There's also a good amount of smoked meat down here. Okay. Bottom line is, I think we're doing overall okay in terms of food supply for now. But obviously that can change and probably will change very quickly. Oh, I forgot we have actually this. I do want to watch one of them play. It might take a little while before... Oh. Where are you throwing? Oh, there we go. Okay, so I get where the animation is coming from because you kind of can't go too far. Yes, they're ropes rather than rings, but still it comes to the same basic idea. I love that they have new games in there. The backgammon just seemed a little bit over the top as like a first playthrough or a first gaming mechanic. Jonathan, while you're here, do me a favor, quickly dig this out. So we can sort this last piece out here. There we go. Now they might still come in from below, but yeah, we're working on that slowly but steadily. Okay, one last check. We're almost there with our research to get the smelter up and running. The need to turn the rooftop back on. Good. All of that is in place. Very nice. Which means very soon. Why are you still working? Huh. Okay. But at least the tower part has been kind of sorted. So we can still put our archers on the top here. And have our melee fighters below. Currently two melee fighters. Might be overall okay. What are you wearing actually? You wearing a crown? Is 600, that's maybe a little bit over the top. Yep. Oh well. Alright, it is raining, and again, supposedly, there will be flooding now of the basements every now and then. So you kind of need to plan in drainage, and that is something we're also going to do. So this will probably be the lowest level that we'll be working on. And then sort of dig out in this area for our root cellar. But that also means we need to kind of dig one level below and then put grates in. I wonder if we need to add them all underneath. I don't think we do. But yeah, something that we will need to figure out as we're working our way through this new update. I'm actually very excited because I've been waiting for this update for forever. Android, what are you doing while you're preparing food? Come on, at least wrap this up. I know you want to make more alcohol. You do have a ton of it already. I like the graphics look a little bit nicer too. You done? You're done. Very nice. So let's go ahead and unlock the smelter. And then place you right down. Melting furnace. There we go. Clay is fine. We should have enough clay. That's just to be on the safe side. Allow a bunch more. Random boar just hanging out there. So, and then we're going to set Marion, you're hauling to the stockpile. Let's have you actually do the furnace. Oh, and there are two of them now focusing on digging up the next level down here. Very nice. So first we're going to replace these immediately with wooden walls. Put our wooden beams back in the hope that it will support everything enough. And then we can keep digging down further and kind of doing the same thing. All right, let's have a quick look in our job section. Smithing. We do have a ton of them who are very excited to do this. Marion is one of them, and she does haul, so there is probably enough for her to do. All right, a beggar has arrived. Do we... Yeah, we don't need the location from him or them. But I can't send them out without any kind of food. Okay, Jonathan, you're pretty good at speechcraft. You're really good at speechcraft. Alright, so let's do iron until we have 200. Do the same for gold. And then silver. And then we're going to smelt everything down, similar as before. Flimsy to sturdy, 25%. And set this up. Oh, there we are, forever. Right, Jonathan, go ahead and say hi to Robert. Yep, we're gonna give you something because we're nice people. At least I think we're nice people. Here, have a little bit. Only two. Okay, 11. You know what? Okay, here. Get 2 barrels of alcohol and 2. Well, let's do 3 meat. Still not enough. Okay, what you want is 1 of the cooked meals, a little bit of smoked meat, and then here, add some barley to it. There you go. Again, no need for the hidden stash. But yeah, I don't want them to go without food. All right. With that, I think I am going to call this an episode. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.